Hello, welcome back to The Remedy, brought to you by Coos Health and Wellness. I'm Eric Gleason. Today we're joined by Kathy Barber, who is a member of South Coast Together, which works on ACES training, if you haven't heard any of that. So, Kathy, what exactly is South Coast Together?
So I'm glad you mentioned ACES training. South Coast Together is the group that is bringing ACES training and family cafes and some films like Resilience and Paper Tigers to Coos and Curry counties. South Coast Together also organized training that we have 13 to 14 people that are trained to either be master trainers or presenters to do ACES workshops in Coos and Curry counties. And that's been happening for a while now.
Mm-hmm. So ACES, which stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences?
Yes, yes. So ACES. A lot of people have heard of ACES. ACES, the whole thing began in 1995 and 1997 in Southern California. Mm-hmm. So there's insurance companies, Kaiser Permanente, that did a survey for 17,000 of their patients when they went to get physicals. And they asked 10 questions about things that happened to these patients as children, and then questions about their current health.
Sure.
And what they found out was that when adverse things happen, difficult things happen to people as children, it sometimes, not always, but often led to harder health problems when they were older. There were things that people didn't necessarily expect. I think people thought, oh, so it did lead to more incidences of depression or maybe suicide attempts or
Sure.
alcoholism or drug use or things like that. What wasn't necessarily expected was that they found that heart disease, strokes, asthma, and just some more common health things were also
Sure.
related to the ACEs that happened to children, or to the patients when they were children.
So things that happened to these individuals in their youth correlated to, in their adult life and later in life, into some possibly serious health conditions.
Yes, yes.
So I guess it makes sense when you really break it down, but to think back in that time, they were putting that all together, and now there's something we can do, to a degree, at least to understand that. That's pretty awesome.
Yes.
So do we know how many members of the community within Coos and Curry counties have been trained in ACES?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. There have been over 1,300 people trained in our region so far. That's Coos and Curry counties, and it's continuing. The workshops are continuing right now. So you can see on your screen, there will be an email and a number. You can contact Sheena Holiday if you wanted to sign up to have an ACES workshop for your group. It's free, and we'll have master trainers and presenters come and do that training for you. So it's a nice resource.
That's great. The fact that is something that community members can get involved in, that they could get trained in these things to truly understand, especially if you work, I guess, in any field where you're working with the public, to really understand what it is that makes them who they are on a different level than what you would normally think. Like truly understanding that someone's behaviors, even as a child, if you're a teacher, someone's behaviors maybe contributed to things that have happened in their past.
Yes.
I think it's nice to have that perspective that you wouldn't necessarily have had otherwise.
Yes.
And that it's free.
Yes, and it's pretty magical what has come from that, because now that we understand where some of these things have come from, the next piece, people say, well, what can you do about that? And what you can do is you can learn some resilience factors. And so we will be having, we have already had the film Resilience shown in Coos and
Sure.
Curry counties. That's scheduled again for this year and could be rescheduled for a group of yours if you would like to
if you want it.
request that.
So if you want any of those things, you want to try to get a hold of Sheena, try to get into training, or you want to get any of those things dialed in so that you can participate in those, give them a call. And for The Remedy, brought to you by Coos Health and Wellness, I'm Eric Gleason. Thanks for joining us.